What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Luna Nozawa, a lunatic, kills once more? Luna Nozawa will be back on the loose sooner than we anticipated, according to the Bold and the Beautiful. The soap preview for next week suggests that Lee Finnegan's patient will attempt to flee. When Lunatic Luna is back on the streets, nobody will be safe. Will and Elektra are at risk. When Luna wakes up this week on BNB, Sheila Carter and Lee Finnegan will be thrilled because it is evident that the serial killer will recover from her wounds from the shooting. But, when Luna starts chatting with her grandmothers, it's clear that she is still seriously unhinged. In fact, Bold and the Beautiful say the shooting might have made her even more unhinged if that was even possible. Luna Nozawa is shown in this week's new soap promo asking right away about her crush, Will Spencer Jr., when she comes to. The serial killer may have forgotten that he tried to get her to talk to the police, or perhaps she simply does not care. Regardless, Luna is going to be determined to reunite with Dollar Bill's son, and she's not going to let his girlfriend Elektra Forrester stand in her way. Luna is back in the hunt. Lee Finnegan faked Luna's death, and Sheila Carter isn't going to rat her out. As a result, Luna Nozawa will have the element of surprise on her side because no one will be watching out for her. If Lee doesn't call the police to let them know that Luna is back on the loose, she will have to explain herself. How far will Luna Nozawa take her adoration for Will Spencer Jr.'s character? Could another one of Bill Spencer's sons get shot by their former fake sister? Is Elektra Forrester's life on the line? Will Sheila and Elektra's date team up with Luna to break them up? The Bold and the Beautiful gives away the idea that Sheila Carter will work with Luna Nozawa to realize all of her goals. Sheila is aware of her granddaughter's attraction to Will Spencer. She listens in on Will as he reveals his plans for a romantic date with Elektra Forrester so that she doesn't discourage her granddaughter. Elektra beams as Will explains his plans for their date. Will hopes to make it a memorable occasion because it could be their first night together. That's what makes Sheila's eavesdropping more sinister. She doesn't hesitate to kill Luna because she knows she wants Will. Luna daydreams about Will. According to the spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna is still obsessed with Will. You'd think that almost dying, shooting Liam Spencer, Sheila losing another toe, and nearly killing Steffi Forrester would be enough to give Luna a reality check. It turns out not to be the case. She is still completely preoccupied with Will and determined to claim Bill Spencer's son. Sheila chatted with her granddaughter about Will briefly. She never discouraged her from pursuing a committed boyfriend. She grinned at her and said that she wished she had everything in life. That was a little too vague for Luna, the twisted killer. Sheila went to Il Giardino after her conversation with Luna, where she overheard Will and Elektra planning their first date. Sheila believes this is the perfect opportunity for her to help Luna remove one of her obstacles, Elektra. Surprise in LI when Luna vanishes. According to the spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Dr. Lee Finnegan visits Luna's apartment to check on her. Luna has vanished, shocking her, and Sheila has not returned her call. Lee gets a sick feeling in the pit of her stomach, as she fears she made the wrong decision by saving Luna's life. Luna, on the other hand, shows up at Il Giardino to disrupt Will and Elektra's date. She is concealing a portion of her face with a mask. She displays an evil smile as she looks at Will and Elektra dancing on the floor. Sheila is nowhere to be seen, as she is likely at home with her husband, Deacon Sharp. According to The Bold and the Beautiful, Luna will cause a stir during the week of August 18th. In order to keep her secret hidden for a few more weeks, Lee rushes to locate her niece and granddaughter. Luna Nozawa's eyes flickered open under the harsh fluorescent lights of the hospital room, and for a fleeting moment, Lee Finnegan allowed herself the tiniest sigh of relief, believing that perhaps the nightmare of her niece's violence, obsession, and unraveling psyche had come to an end with the last bloody encounter, but the reality was far darker, because as Sheila Carter leaned in close with her wide smile, whispering that her granddaughter was strong, resilient, and destined to survive, the room seemed to tilt into madness, for within seconds of waking, Luna's very first words were not about her wounds, her brush with death, or the chaos she had left behind, but about Will Spencer Jr., the object of her obsessive fixation, the young man she had once stalked, poisoned, and nearly destroyed with her twisted idea of love, and when Lee heard her murmur his name with a dreamy tone, her heart sank like a stone, realizing at once that the bullet had not jarred her free from insanity but rather driven her deeper into it, fusing her near-death experience with an even more dangerous belief that fate had chosen her for Will and that nothing, not Elektra Forrester, not Bill Spencer, not even death itself could keep them apart, And so while Sheila grinned proudly, encouraging Luna to heal fast so she could live the life she deserved, Lee's stomach churned as she thought of the lies she had already told to keep Luna hidden. The medical records she had falsified, the authorities she had misled, all in the name of protecting her family's fragile dignity. But now it was clear that all those choices were about to explode, because if Luna truly believed she was reborn and destined for Will, then Los Angeles was standing on a powder keg with a fuse already lit, and as the preview for next week's Bold and the Beautiful promised, nobody would be safe, not Elektra, not Will, and not even Sheila herself. Indeed, as Luna regained her strength, she began daydreaming aloud of Will's hands, Will's voice, Will's promises, ignoring the fact that he had rejected her time and again, ignoring the fact that he was already committed to Elektra, and when Lee attempted to interject, gently reminding her that Will had moved on, Luna's expression hardened into something cold, detached, and terrifying, muttering that Elektra was nothing but a distraction, a temporary obstacle, and that once she and Will were together, everything would be perfect. So while Sheila smiled with indulgence, almost as if she were amused by the intensity of her granddaughter's obsession, Lee fought the urge to call the police right then and there, knowing that the minute she admitted Luna was alive, her medical license and reputation would be destroyed for good, and so she did the only thing she could think of. She doubled down on her silence, a decision that would soon cost the lives and safety of those around her, because Luna's recovery was swift, fueled by a manic energy that scared even Sheila. And within days she was sneaking out of bed, sketching Will's name on scraps of paper, humming little songs about their future, and fixating on every detail of his life. From the car he drove to the restaurant he was taking Elektra to on their upcoming date, information she gleaned when Sheila, in her usual way, let details slip after eavesdropping at Il Giardino, where Will had confided in Zend that he wanted to make Elektra feel special, wanted to take her out on a night that would mark the beginning of something real, something lasting, and Sheila, ever the enabler, returned home with a sparkle in her eye and relayed the details to Luna without ever once discouraging her, telling her instead that if love is meant to be, nothing can stop it. A vague statement that Luna twisted into a green light to pursue her obsession with ruthless determination, and by the time Lee returned to Luna's apartment for a check-in, her worst fears came true, because the bed was empty, the room stripped of her niece's presence, and the air filled with the suffocating silence of absence, and Lee nearly collapsed as she realized she had not only failed to contain the danger but had set it loose on the city, for Luna was already prowling the streets in disguise, her face half hidden behind a mask swiped from Zen's party games, her lips curved into a smile that dripped with malice as she stalked her way to Il Giardino, where Will and Elektra had just begun their long-awaited date. The restaurant was warm, candlelit, and filled with laughter, Elektra glowing in a shimmering dress, Will reaching across the table to squeeze her hand as he spoke about how much she meant to him, how he wanted to build something real with her, but neither of them noticed the figure lurking near the back, sipping water, her eyes fixed on them with an intensity that made even the waiter uneasy, for Luna was already plotting her grand interruption, already rehearsing in her mind how she would sweep in, unmask herself, and reveal that she was alive, that she and Will were destined, that Elektra needed to step aside or face the consequences, and though Sheila should have been there to stop her, she was at home with Deacon Sharp, lost in her own delusions of a peaceful domestic life, painting her nails and pretending that the world was normal, oblivious to the fact that her granddaughter was unraveling faster than anyone anticipated. And so when Luna rose from her seat, mask in place, and approached the dance floor where Will had pulled Elektra into his arms, she felt the electric charge of destiny in her veins, the madness of obsession carrying her forward as she whispered his name, soft at first, then louder, until Elektra turned and gasped at the sight of the supposedly dead woman staring back at her with wild eyes, and Will froze, his blood running cold as he realized the nightmare was not over but only just beginning. For Luna Nozawa was alive, unhinged, and standing inches away, ready to reclaim what she believed was hers. And in that moment, as Lee raced across town in a blind panic and Sheila remained oblivious, the stage was set for another bloody chapter in the saga of the Forrester, Spencer, and Finnegan families, where obsession, deception, and madness would collide, and where Luna, the lunatic killer, would remind everyone that as long as she drew breath, nobody, absolutely nobody, was safe.